Upgrades.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS movie review. Today, we are bringing you the latest from one of the biggest movie characters out right now, from one of the most prolific directors humanly possible, and that is Madea's Destination Wedding. And here's a quick synopsis. Madea and the family traveled to Bahamas for a rush destination wedding. This is directed, of course, by Tyler Perry. This stars, of course, Tyler Perry, along with Cassi, Davis, Patton, Tamela Mann, David Mann, Diamond White. Now, first I'll say this. Earlier this year, Tyler Perry did Straw for Netflix, and it's not a good movie. And to me, Madea's Destination Wedding was the film that could possibly bring you back into understanding exactly the type of work that Tyler Perry pulls off. And for the most part, that's what this film does, as we're introduced in one of the most entertaining scenes in Madea's whole filmography, which is the beginning portion of this film of just Madea Brown and her daughter going grocery shopping at night. It's one of the most entertaining portions of this film, but possibly one of the most entertaining portions of the Madea filmography that just sets the tone for exactly what you're going to get out of Madea's Destination Wedding. Now, if you have seen Madea Boo, which is a Halloween film, and Madea Boo 2, again, it was a Chris Rock joke, and Tyler Perry took it and made movies off of it. But those characters in those two movies are actually the lead characters in Madea's Destination Wedding, as it plays off of Brian's daughter, Tiffany, meeting a boy and getting married, and Brian just finding out. So all those characters that are in those films are the characters you're going to mainly focus on in Madea's Destination Wedding. And at first that had or could have people a little worried, because those aren't necessarily the best known Tyler Perry films, and they're definitely not the best received Tyler Perry films. But here with Madea's Destination Wedding, what it feels like at times is that this was enough restraint, unlike the other Madea films at times, that it allowed the actors at least to have more fun while they're filming this film. And that's what I think you leave Madea's Destination Wedding really feeling, is that these actors are having a ball doing this film. With this being the second Madea film coming to Netflix after Homecoming, which I thought was really good for Madea film, while Destination Wedding does not reach that level of good from Homecoming, but to me it's still a restrained performance here as a director from Tyler Perry, a back to norm performance. And I don't know necessarily, it could be because Straw was just such a stark contrast to what his work normally is. And that was such a sloppy film that once you get here to Madea's Destination Wedding, it almost feels like a comfortable pair of shoes at this point. You know what you're going to get out of a Madea movie. I've said countless times, if you go into a Madea film or a Tyler Perry film and are expecting something other than what is the norm, that's your fault. This film delivers crude jokes at times, touching messages as normal with Tyler Perry, and just brings it home with Madea, the no-nonsense grandmother, great aunt, everything humanly possible that just makes this family and these stories go along perfectly. Well, again, it's not as humorous as Homecoming was, but there's still enough jokes, along with, I'm not going to say the most interesting story, because that's not the case here, but at least it comes across more believable than the normal Madea films do at times with these characters. And then whenever you get to see David Mann and Tamela Mann and Cassi, who to me is, as Bam, Cassi is possibly the best character ever created by Tyler Perry. But once you get to see all of them together, and you get to see just the enjoyment of the scenes, you get to see Tyler Perry as he bounces between Madea and Joe. And I think this is possibly the best performance he's ever done as Joe in a film before. So it kind of counteracts against possibly some of the other side characters in the film not being as strong. But when you get to the core group that is the Madea films, this is possibly the strongest one out of all of them. Again, possibly not as funny, not as humorous as the other ones, but just from performancing standpoint, I think this is the best you're going to get out of these characters, and that makes for Madea's Destination Wedding to be a rather enjoyable watch. Again, Tyler Perry films are on the scale on the scale at this point. If you don't know what you're getting into, that's your fault. If you're out here to overly criticize it, kind of your fault at this point. Like, you know going into it, the movie's going to have flaws. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be crude at times. It's going to have jokes that may miss the mark a lot. But again, it's about just the humorous moments that it does and just the lightheartedness of it. Granted, it's a little language in this film, but this film is lighthearted, and it's back to the lightheartedness of the Madea Boo films, which is completely different from the other Madea films. Those films felt like they were made for a bigger, more general audience, and that's what you get here with Destination Wedding. Is this is Madea for a bigger audience, and I think just to that degree alone, you can understand why this film possibly is more enjoyable for a lot of people. While, again, not as good to me as Homecoming is, but possibly be more enjoyable to a general audience than Homecoming was. But Madea's Destination Wedding, brought to you by Netflix. Out of a possible 10, I am going to give Madea's Destination Wedding a 7 out of 10. Again, if you are going into this film expecting something different at this point, that is your problem. You need to understand exactly what Tyler's going to give you. And to me, this is one of the best iterations of these characters, whether it be Miss Cassi, who's amazing as Bam here, Tyler, who's amazing as Joe here, and then we get Mr. Brown and Cora. Like, those core characters push this film to places that without them, it would not be it. And that alone is worth watching, especially since it is on Netflix. So check it out because it's currently available. Let us know what you think. This has been another JVS movie review. Peace, people.